Hey guys, so this one is a very unofficial one. This is very much like the Super Mario Bros. One I did a while back. This is completely unscripted, and as I said previously, this really wasn't going to be done for, if you can hear that squeaking, that's my soda because I don't give a fuck about the editing on this one. Um, so yeah, this was as previously stated, this was going to be just a uh, Super Mario and Sonic the Hedgehog kind of thing. Those were the two games. It was Super Mario and it was Sonic the Hedgehog on the Sega Master System. But as I said, I believe I said in the Mario video, my original kind of run-ins with games were the Sonic on the Game Gear, the Mario on NES, and Alex Kidd on the Master System. Did I just say Game Gear? I totally meant Master System. I barely played a Game Gear as a kid. So, yeah, it was Super Mario and Sonic the Hedgehog on the Master System, and then Alex Kidd. And Alex Kidd was one that I'll never forget. I guess the cool thing about this one is, everybody said everything about Super Mario. So this one, I can kind of just sit back and talk about some of the pluses and the negatives with this game. First one, I'm gonna say, just looking at this footage and watching as I talk over this, is I remember how slippery Alex Kidd feels compared to Sonic the Hedgehog and Super Mario, and I don't think that's just a design choice, like how you get knocked back in Castlevania. I think it truly was just not very well designed on that front. And I'm not saying the game isn't fun. I love Alex Kidd. Alex Kidd in Miracle World is absolutely like a 5 out of 5 game. Nostalgia not included. I think it's actually a great, really fun game. But it is pretty loose. So my memories around this one stem more to do with my grandmother than my dad or anything else. When I was very young, my nan lived in a cottage. Well, my nan and my granddad lived in a cottage, and that cottage eventually burned down. But I very much remember it at the time, much like almost all of my nan's things to this day. It was an incredibly old-looking ass place, very wooden, a lot of like Victorian-y like pots and pans kind of stuff sticking around the house. And I remember the only thing that was there really for me, because I wasn't really sleeping there at the time, was the Master System. And so I would sit on the floor and like really I would like kind of like people say they did when they were kids. You sit on the floor and you play from the floor, and I really did do that. Like, it was a wooden floor. I used to play from the floor onto this shitty ass TV. Like, it wasn't even the main TV. It was just some shitty tiny TV off the side near the kitchen. But it kind of stuck with me. Tell you one thing, actually, to just get into, just to spitball and have a little fun and just chill. One of the things I remember really well about Miracle World is the death sound. Like, the death sound is pretty nasty, actually. Like, it has this horrible high tone, and every time it used to scare the shit out of me when I was a kid. I don't know. Maybe I was easily scarable or something. But then again, I love horror stuff, so I don't know. It's just the sound of that chiptune, that Master System kind of chipset. Yeah, it's not about that. But yeah. So me and my brother and my mom and, well, pretty much everyone, I guess, used to play Alex Kidd with me. It's one of those games that felt very mysterious, even if it really wasn't. I mean, looking at it from a very kind of objection-y, no, no subjective status from the nostalgia or anything. Like, if I'm just looking at this normally, yeah, it's not as good as Mario, and it's not as good as Sonic on the Master System. But it stays within that kind of upper echelon of retro games for me. Very early, you know, like I know Mario, obviously it was kind of cashing in on the Mario wagon, but very early to do it. And I think it should be appreciated for that in a sense. It never really had an amazing story or anything, and a lot of it felt, I don't know, a lot of it you didn't really even pay attention to, but Alex Kidd, at the end of the day, is a really fun kind of just, I don't want to say Mario clone, but just a really fun game that it has a lot more impact in the country I'm from than, say, someone who grew up with a Master System in the US, which, as I believe, was not a lot of people. But in the UK, the Master System was huge. So we had Alex Kidd on pretty much every Master System, because eventually they kind of locked it into the console itself. So you could just turn it on and Alex Kidd would be there. So a lot of people remember it from that. That seems to be the first game that a lot of people had for the Master System. And for some people, it was the only game. Some people were just, you know, happy to play Alex Kidd and, you know, maybe another game, and that's it. In the same way that Sonic was pushed into the US, Alex Kidd was pushed into the UK because it was just, well given to you with the system. But I think that's enough. I think that's as much as I really need to talk about it. Alex Kidd was not as exciting as Super Mario, and it wasn't as ambitious as Sonic the Hedgehog, but it will forever be in the minds of people from the UK simply because of its status. The Master System rocked the UK. We loved that system. And Alex Kidd was the mascot, you know, and it was a great one. So here's to Alex Kidd in Miracle World. The next video, God knows what it will be scripted, unless it's the Sonic Master System video, but I highly doubt it. Yeah, have a good one, and I'll see you in the next video.